Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, Prosperous Living with Toya. And for many of you that have subscribed to my channel, or maybe some of you that may be new to my channel, I come from biblical perspective. I believe that the Bible is psychological, that all is mental, that it is mind science. And also that the Bible is a collection of eloquent stories, parables about our psyche. It is a guide, a blueprint for obtaining our every desire. And I don't believe that the people existed in time and space, not the people described in the Bible. I believe they are states of consciousness that the mind moves in and out of through our experience here in the third dimension. And so today's scripture will be regarding tithing. I will be quoting Malachi 3:8-10. And after I quote Malachi, I will then go into Neville Goddard's explanation on this much maligned scripture. I think his response is sufficient and hopefully will help you to realize that you never have to give your money to any organization, church, or charity to receive whatever you desire in this life. So with that being said, the scripture, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8-10. And this is the King James Version. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Now, before I get into Neville Goddard's explanation, I want you to ask yourself, do you ever notice it is the one receiving the tithe and hardly ever the one giving the tithe who ends up benefiting from the tithe? The reason for this is because that most people give begrudgingly, out of doubt, out of lack, and most of all, out of fear. And remember, whenever you sow in that manner, you reap the same. You can only receive more anger, doubt, lack, and fear because you did not give in faith. Now, am I saying that people that tithe to the church, that some people don't reap the benefits of tithing because that's where their belief is? Remember, the law of life is the law of belief. It is done unto you as you believe. Unfortunately, most people that give aren't operating in faith. They're operating in fear. And so I will get into Neville Goddard's explanation of tithing. I 100% agree with his explanation, and it just gives you something to think about, something to ponder. And this is from his book, At Your Command. And it goes, this brings us to that much abused statement of the Bible on tithing. Teachers of all kinds have enslaved man with this affair of tithing. For not themselves understanding the nature of tithing and being themselves fearful of lack, they have led their followers to believe that a 10th part of their income should be given to the Lord. Meaning, as they make very clear that when one gives a 10th part of his income to their particular organization, he is giving his 10th part to the Lord, or is tithing. But remember, I am the Lord. Your awareness of being is the God that you give to and you ever give in this manner. Therefore, when you claim yourself to be anything, you have given that claim or quality to God. My words, you're tithing. and your awareness of being, which is no respecter of persons, will return to you pressed down, shaken together, and running over with that quality or attribute which you claim for yourself, what you have tithed. Again, my words. Awareness of being is nothing that you could ever name. To claim God to be rich, to be great, to be loved, to be all wise, is to define that which cannot be defined. For God is nothing that could ever be named. Tithing is necessary, and you do tithe with God. But from now on, give to the only God and see to it that you give him the quality that you desire as man to express by claiming yourself to be the great, the wealthy, the loving, the all wise. And that is the end of Neville Goddard's explanation on tithing in his book, At Your Command. It is a great book, very enlightening. It shows you how, again, to operate this law of assumption, the knowledge of self, how to bring into visibility, how to manifest your every desire. That is the point of life. That is the reason for law of assumption. That is who we are. We are here not only to have an abundant life, but to realize and awaken the God self, to remember who we are, and that we are creators, and that we are like God. And remember, God don't need your money, but man most certainly does. Because the scripture says to go out into all the world and to preach the gospel, to preach the good news, right? It didn't say go out and build a whole bunch of churches, because you are the church. You are the temple that God dwells in, a temple that is not made with hands. So hopefully this gives you all something to think about, something to ponder, especially a lot of people that are still attached to these church organizations. It's not necessary to give any money. Tithe was never about money, although the scripture would make you think that it is. But anytime that you don't give yourself what you desire, because remember, your I am is God, you are robbing yourself of that actuality, of that experience, of being the person you desire to be. Whenever you don't give yourself or embody the thing that you desire to be, you're what? You're robbing yourself of that experience. That's all it means. Has nothing to do with money, again. So, with that being said, go out and be blessed.